Hey all, it's Stace here from Sacred Art and Story, and I'm here in my studio. It's kind of a day, I'm hunkering down waiting for a snowstorm, and I thought I would pop in and talk about something that I've been talking about a lot lately, which is kind of like no pressure art, right? And doing art these days that really doesn't have, doesn't require a lot of energy. And I was talking about this in the Artful Crone, which is my online group, my membership group, and the project that we're doing or we're about to do. There's no pressure, in it. And like none of the things that I offer really have pressure. You can do them, you cannot, you can do them when you want, but they're also easy. And I felt like I constantly was coming back to the same statement of, we are overwhelmed right now. And I feel like so many of us sort of feel like our nervous systems are on edge. What's going on in the world, sort of the economy, the unknown, the weather, it's just like one thing after another. And we're sort of like, just piling on, here. And I don't know about you, but like I feel like I haven't had a good night's sleep in a long time. Like my cortisol levels are just off the charts, and so as I was talking about this project and just kind of showing how I was doing it, I heard myself say again and again, like I just couldn't make this hard. So the project is we're actually making these wisdom cards, and they're just sort of not your typical wisdom cards. They're really about like little love notes, like what your soul would want to say to you, which are things that I just absolutely love. But I couldn't come to sort of just making it difficult. Here's a little example. Like all I could do was I could use a like a little stencil and stencil it over. And you think about things like wisdom cards, right? And how they're often like, you got to pick the words and then you got to get the some symbolism, like in all the things, and that just felt exhausting. What I wanted was just like a couple of moments of just doing a little watercolor and stamping some words that felt really, really meaningful and creating time for giving myself a chance to rest, right? And I feel like we need that. And it's so hard sometimes to give ourselves that time when we feel stressed, when we feel like just like too full. Like how can we actually just give ourselves an hour to come down, make something, do something. And that's when I think things like coloring comes in. Like that's just a beautiful thing to just like stop thinking, but it gives that kind of creative energy space to flow, which I feel like that creative energy, big C creative energy, right? It's such a healing force. It's the energy that moves us that gives us this chance to create, and when that gets stopped, we feel blocked. And we all feel kind of blocked. Like every person that I'm talking to through my work and in my life, is just like overwhelmed and tired, and nobody's sleeping, and like a lot of things aren't getting done, because there's sort of these things have to be done, but I don't have the energy for the other stuff. But I'm going to encourage you to try to create some energy for really, really simple art, coloring, doodling, um, join the Artful Crone and make some stuff with us that just doesn't take a lot of effort. But, like find a way to give yourself just that time for your creative energy to flow and to sort of soothe your nervous system to kind of get lost in what you're doing and to stop thinking for a minute. It's healing, and there's something about it that, especially if you don't feel like you have to do anything with the art, like there's no pressure. Like you don't have to learn a new technique. You don't have to create something that everybody's going to ooh and ah about. You could create something that just you feel like is really precious to you, or you just like put it in a book and never think about it again. But it's the act of making. And I think that, people talk about this all the time, and yet we still often don't do it. And simple, simple, simple making right now, I think is a really powerful thing. And if you're making your creativity, your art, whatever you're doing, a little bit too hard, like a little bit too much pressure, and then you're starting to notice you're putting it on the back burner, try something different. Like try something super simple. Okay. That's my advice. That's what I'm doing. And as I was talking about this class, just sort of showing people what I was doing, every time something would come out of my mouth, it really was about like, I just don't want to make it so hard. I just want ease. I just want to have fun. And that's what the healing part of the art is all about right now. Okay, so there you go.